Here's a great Steve Trovato telly lick involving hybrid picking. And it's got some nice banjo-style rolls, but it goes into that great alternating bass freight train type rhythm. Obviously, you got to play it on a Telecaster for it to be authentic, and that's what I'm using. I'll be using both pickups, the middle position. Okay, you can see how that simply moves down through the diatonic chords in the key of E. We have the B, A, G sharp minor, F sharp minor, and we just play a triplet roll. So what you do is you plant your middle and ring fingers on the third and second strings respectively, and the pick on the sixth string, and you get an even. Now the only way this is going to work at this speed is that you have to plant and roll. If you're not accustomed to that, I suggest you just practice doing these particular moves. See how I'm picking the sixth string, but I'm not lifting off my middle and ring fingers. After you're comfortable with that, then you would proceed with pick, middle. Again, not picking up your ring finger. And notice that every time I go to play the lick again, I'm planting. That's critical. Finally, so this is what we call in classical guitar a sequential plant. You're actually putting your fingers in place right before you play them. Then you have your third finger over on the octave of whatever chord you're playing. You got a couple hand positions. You saw me probably play it more of a classical position with my wrist up. You can do the country thing with the palm mute. A little punchier. Excuse me. So, and notice how your first and your third fingers are guide fingers. Hear my squeaks? Now you learn to hover right above the strings and you get rid of those. But for our purposes, squeak, squeak, squeak. If you're not used to keeping your fingers in contact with the strings, go ahead and go for the squeaks. Then, after you're comfortable with that, you'll learn to just hover and get rid of those squeaks. Because remember, telly's pretty bright. It's going to bring those tones out. Then the second part of the lick, the freight train type. Nice palm mute on that open E. Then you reach over, pick on the fourth string, middle and ring, still on the third and second strings. You got your E minor 7 to E7, blues flat 3 to 3 move. Then you go to your 4 chord, the A chord. You can finger that A chord with your second finger, and that way you don't have to move your hand. But I use, because you notice how I'm using my middle and ring fingers to dampen these other strings. That way you can get it cooking, and it's kind of percussive. Everything just flows together. Okay, we thank Steve for this wonderful lick. Work on it and make sure you get that poppin' burnin' country sound.